So this is the second part of the engine build. I'm gonna be just doing the heads for right now. I'm gonna pull apart this head for you guys. I already pulled this head apart with Tyrell, so if you want, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you to check out this other video of this head getting taken down. But for you guys, I'm gonna take apart this head today. All right, so we're gonna start by taking the cams out, and we're gonna take the lifters out, we're gonna take the valves out, we're gonna take the springs out, and everything. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna rip this whole head down so that it looks like this one. Sorry that we're doing this in a living room. I haven't gotten my shop yet, but when I do get the shop, we'll be doing all the videos at the shop instead of in my living room, because this is not really an ideal location to do automotive work, but it is what it is for right now. Hopefully it'll be soon. Hopefully we'll be in there. We'll be doing a lot of work. I'll have a lot of videos of this engine build coming up. So we're gonna start pulling this apart right now. I'm gonna do as much as I can on camera for you. I got somebody helping me today. Shout out to Luke, holding the camera today. It's something new. I usually don't have people helping me film. I usually just do it by myself. But I got a lot of friends who are interested in this build and are willing to help me out, so you can thank them for making this video just a little bit better. All right, let's tear this down. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out this cam now, and there's two tools that I don't have here with me, but I'm just gonna kind of wing it like I did with the other one. I'm gonna take this bolt out, and this bolt out, and I'm gonna pull the camshaft out with the whole timing cover. And as far as this goes, I don't have the tool with me to compress this cam timer, tensioner, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just gonna pull it out how it is. It should be fine. I did it on the other one with no problem. And after we remove the cam, I have everything else I kind of need to do this job. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out these, and these hold the camshafts down. They hold them in place. We're going to start from the outside and work our way into the center. That's the way you're supposed to do it, so that you don't bend the camshafts, or you bend them as little as possible. It's way more important when you're putting them back together to make sure you do that and torque them correctly, or else you can have some problems. So let's start by taking off these. I have some of my electric tools with me today. Unlike in the last video, I didn't bring them, but I will loosen all of these, and then I'll run them all out with the electric ratchet. All of these are marked. If you look closely, you can see 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. They're all marked. Normally, I would mark them to make sure you put them back where they came from. But Audi Volkswagen thought it'd be a good idea to mark them from the factory. So we thank them for that. Now that those are all just loosened, I'm going to take out this bolt, and this bolt, because like I said, I don't have the tool to pop this off of here today. So I'm going to take this plate off with everything else. I'm going to take out the cam sensor also. These have Loctite on them, so they're a little on the tight side. To pull them out. That one wasn't tight. Alright, so now that that's loose, we can pull the cams out and the camshaft timer actuator, variable valve timing adjuster. There's a whole bunch of names for it. I believe Audi calls it the cam timer. So, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what we're gonna call them, cam timers. I have new ones coming. We're not gonna reuse these old ones. Let's mark this one. This is the right side head, so we'll mark the cams with an R. And anything that's not already marked, we'll mark it with an R. So these here, I don't believe they're marked as 1, but I will put 1 R. Start by lining all these up where they came. Like so. You don't have to, but I prefer to put everything in order so that when I put it into the box, it's just easier. They're all numbered, they're all marked, they're different, but I just like to line everything up. It makes it seem neater. Okay, now that those are all off, the cams should just pop right out. Should. This seal is stuck right here. Just give it a little tap. There we go. Okay. Okay. This will come off as one unit. Kind of leave it like that for right now. It's all good. All right. Somebody did these not too long ago, but everything is going to be new. Okay, and now we will mark these like we did, or like we would have done with the caps if Audi, Volkswagen hadn't marked them for us already, like the awesome company that they are. Okay, and Audi marked it as this being the front and this being the back, even though cam gear was over here. We're going to mark it the same way so that everything corresponds. This head was the exact opposite. It was marked from front to back. This one's marked from back to front. So we'll start with 1, 2, 3. Sometimes these are kind of a pain in the ass to pull out. It helps to have a magnet. Makes it a lot easier. Come on. So if you look down in here, you can see that these are the tops of the valves. This is where the lifters contact them. The springs are underneath here, retainers. And so what we have to do is we have to use this adapter to push these down and then take the little keepers out of there so the valves can come out the bottom. So you don't have to, but I like to take everything and put it neatly into a box, its own box, so that I don't get the two heads mixed up, or I don't get all the stuff for the two heads mixed up. Just neater, feels a little more professional in this unprofessional setting. I think that's everything we need. Hey, look at that. That looks nice, doesn't it? And we're going to take the heads off the stands. We're going to flip it on its side. And we're going to take the valves out. Now, I'm not going to be using any of the valves or springs or retainers or keepers for this head. Again, I'm getting all new stuff, so I'm literally going to throw it into a plastic bag. If you're planning on reusing your valves, I would number them, clean off the bottoms and number them like we did with all the other parts up top. But since I'm not using them, none of that's necessary. Okay. Look under here at what the valves look like. Yeah, if I was keeping them, I would clean them up and number each valve, but I'm not doing that. Okay, now this tool my father actually made out of the socket specifically for these heads, because this will not fit down. This piece won't fit down into the holes, so you need something to press on the top of the retainer. For the spring, this will fit down there. We're gonna grab it with this big old thing here. See this big old thing? We're gonna grab it with this big thing. We're gonna compress the valves, and then we're gonna use a pick to pop the keepers off of the valves. Now we'll start with this top valve here. And what we do on this side is we want to put it up against the valve, and then we want to put this on this side here up against the keeper, the retainer rather. Put that up against the retainer, put that up against the correct valve, and squeeze. You get that little nice pop sound. These are what the keepers look like. They just fit into the retainers. They're conical and they have grooves in them to grab the tops of the valves. So the spring sits on the surface of the head. This fits into the top of the spring. If you look down here, I'll pop out the valve. See the valve? So the valve will come up through here, like so. And then these little keepers, they sit like that. And they're a tapered shape so that they fit into there. And that would be the surface of the head. And then it would be under pressure And every time the camshaft hits the valve, it squeezes and pushes the valve out of its hole here, and that's how they open. Just in case you didn't know or you wanted to know, there's your little lesson of the day. Now you want to really be careful how you position it, because you don't want to do damage to the surface here inside the combustion chamber. I'm going to be cleaning most of this stuff up. I'm pretty careful. Hopefully I don't mess it up.
Yep.
Alright, so you want to place it kind of dead center in the valve and give it a little squeeze. It'll make a popping noise, which means the keepers came up out of the retainer there. The same process for everyone. Just pop these keepers off. Where'd that other one go? It's back there still. Okay, and then as we let this go, grab that and give a little push on the valve, and it'll come out backside. I'm sure they sell something that'll work for this, but like I said, my father already made it, so I didn't have to go buy it, so that was a plus. That's all the intake valves for this first cylinder. They are literally all the same for the rest of the cylinders. When I move on to the exhaust valves, although they're pretty much the same as the intake valves, I'm gonna get I'll get a couple shots taking these exhaust valves out too, just so you can see. Like I said, it's not much different, but just in case. Now this tool is some sort of snap-on tool that I think was modified into one of these, but again, it works. If you look down in here, you can see what I'm doing. Pop the keepers off. The magnet. Same thing with this one. I did it on the other side. Take the retainer out. Take the spring out. And push the valve out the other side. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not too much more I can do right now. We got the cams off, we got the valves out. They're pretty much stripped down to nothing right now. So I'm gonna clean them up I'm gonna degrease them. I'm gonna do a couple things to these heads. Maybe just, you know, clean up the ports. Maybe I'll polish the exhaust out a little bit or something with a Dremel tool. Nothing crazy. I'm not gonna go nuts. I'm gonna replace the valve seals also, but I don't have the tools to take out the valve seals, and I don't want to mess up the guides for the lifters, so I'm not going to do that today. But I'm going to clean these heads up, and I will make another video. I'm going to put them back together, and it's going to be a little bit more of a lengthy process to put them back together. There's a lot of torquing things down to specifications involved, and when you pull it apart, it's kind of quicker. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again to you, Mr. Luke, for helping me make this video. I'll put my social media stuff down in the description. If you want to follow my build, please subscribe to the channel, and I will get as many videos about this as I can out. It's gonna be really cool when it's done. We're gonna show the motor to you guys soon. I have it, and we'll go over there and check it out. We're gonna take that down too, and we're gonna be doing lower end work to it. We're gonna be putting on turbos. It's gonna be huge, man. It's gonna be huge.
Light work with the bass on the track, on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man stand around like they hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back. All the way to